Oh, there we go. Oh, cannot hear you. There we go. Well, let me just start again. Thank you for joining me. It's March 6th, 2023. We're going to explore what the night sky is all about this week. Here you can see the skies as it appears from mid-northern latitudes. So places like London, uh, New York, Washington, Rome, Italy, Tokyo, Japan, places like that. Similar sky. The orientation of the planets will be different, of stars as well, but the clustering of some of these objects are going to be the same. And so, why don't we start off here? We can see Jupiter and Venus. They were in conjunction last week, where they were appearing at their closest last week. Perhaps you saw it. There were lots of amazing images being posted online on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just lots of them. I've shared some of them with you guys. I was putting up daily sky charts shared from Astronomers Without Borders that were really handy of what the pair looked like from different parts of the world. And even now, if you go out this week, you'll still see these two planets, but they're moving apart from each other. So this is the view on Monday, March 6th after sunset. If you've got clear skies, take a look. I'm hoping to get clear skies where I am and maybe going outside and snapping a few photos myself of this beautiful pairing. They're much farther apart than they were just a few days ago. And what you'll notice is if I move this forward day by day, look what you'll see for the rest of the week when it comes to Venus and Jupiter. You can see that Jupiter is slowly setting. So this is the view by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So what are you noticing? Venus is moving higher in the sky, right? And we see Jupiter slowly setting, getting closer to the sun. So as the days move on, and you can see here, I'm already by next week, March 15th. And look at that. By the end of the month, you'll see that Venus is higher in the sky and Jupiter is going to be at lost in the glare of the sunset. And this view that you're seeing here is already March 27th. So really interesting right there. I've got a phone call coming in. I'm going to ignore that. So anyway, so what you're seeing here is really the separation of the planets as viewed from the Earth. And it really depends on where these planets really are in relation to each other. But this is the view from our planet. And you can see even other planets, like in this case, Mercury is just slightly moving above the sun and getting out of the glare. So perhaps if we move to April, you can see Mercury has surpassed Jupiter, and Mercury has now become something that's visible after sunset. Yeah, and this is in the month of April. So just looking farther into future, showing the dance of the planets. They're not stationary. They're always moving. And it's really interesting because you compare what we saw last week to what we'll see over the course of the next month. It's amazing to see how these two planets will just move apart. And if I just go back to what it looks like after sunset today, Monday, March 16th, there they are. Now, what else is in the sky? Let's not forget the moon. The moon is heading to be going into full phase in the next few hours as of this recording on Monday, March 6th. Officially, the moon becomes full on Tuesday, March 7th. And if you go out on Monday night tonight or Tuesday night, it doesn't matter. Both nights you'll see practically a near full moon. So with the naked eye, you'll practically see it completely round. It's a beautiful full moon rising in the east. If you've never seen a full moon rise, go out. I don't know why haven't seen it. It's every month you get to have a chance to see this. It's just spectacular to see that silvery orb rising above the eastern horizon. And that's the view of where the full moon of March will be. Again, this is Monday night, March 6th or March 7th, Tuesday this week. And the moon is situated Monday night well in the underbelly of Leo the Lion constellation. And close to it, just kind of above it, is a bright star called Regulus. This star used to be called Cor Leonis. Cor Leonis, meaning the heart of the lion. And the new name is Regulus, and it's about 78 light years away, this star. So a human lifetime is how long it takes for that light from this star practically to reach your eye. It's just amazing. Over 3/4 of a century to reach your eye. And so we're looking back in time when we're seeing Regulus, 78 years back in time. So that is where the full moon will be rising. If we move this into the next day, a little bit later, this is Tuesday. By Tuesday, the moon will be at the back feet of Leo the lion, and entering into the territory occupied by the constellation Virgo, the maiden constellation. These are Leo and Virgo are traditionally a springtime constellations, meaning when we refer to constellations in terms of its season to see them, it really refers to the evening time, the early evening. When is it well placed in your local evening skies? And generally, Leo and Virgo are really front and center throughout the springtime in the northern hemisphere, or the fall if you're in the southern hemisphere. So we're heading into that seasonal change, right? No matter you're in the southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere, we're very close to it, right? So the spring equinox or the fall equinox, depending on which hemisphere you're in on Earth, these constellations will be very prominent in the evening skies. So already we see that. And the moon is going to be situated in Virgo, the maiden. This is Tuesday. By Wednesday, look where the moon is making its traversing it into the morning skies. Already this is around 9 o'clock local time on Wednesday, March 8th, that I have it right now. I'm going to put it a little bit later, show you that the moon is going to be joined by another bright star that's traditional in the springtime skies, in the constellation Boötis. And that's right here. You can see it right there. And Arcturus is a brilliant star that is about 36 light years away. It is in the constellation Boötis, and it's one of the brightest stars in the northern hemisphere in the springtime. And it's the fourth brightest star in the sky, following only Sirius, Canopus, and Alpha Centauri. And it's really also known colloquially as the bear watcher. If you know why, if you think it makes sense, because guess what? There's the bear, the great bear, marked by, of course, the tail end of the bear and the back end of the bear, marked by, of course, the very famous Big Dipper, back end of Ursa Major, the great bear. So Arcturus is known as the bear watcher, and in some circles as well. So the moon is going to be near Arcturus. Again, this is going to be on Wednesday evening, March 8th. Around, the best time to see it is near midnight. That's when it will be higher up. So as you can see, as we go into the later part of this week, the moon will be better seen by the late part of this week in the early morning skies, early morning time period. And I'll just move it higher up and then switch to Thursday and Friday. So by Friday, March 10th, in the early morning hours, maybe on Thursday, let me see if I can move this back. Well, we can see it near midnight on Thursday. So Thursday, March 9th, or in the early morning hours of March 10th, Friday. So Thursday night, Friday morning, look towards the southeast to see the moon next to another bright star. Very different, by the way, from Arcturus. And this, I think this is why I love to have the moon guide us through the skies, because it points out different stars and constellations that you might not be familiar with, especially if you're just starting out with learning the sky. Maybe you're just a casual sky watcher. The moon is a great guidepost for that. So on Thursday night, Friday morning, the moon is going to be next to the bright star Spica. Look at the color of Spica. It's bluish white. It is a powerhouse star, one of the brightest stars in the skies this time of the year, and it's located about 250 light years away. It's incredible. 2.5 centuries it takes the light from Spica to reach your eye. You're looking back 250 years when you're looking at Spica. Of course, you may ask, a lot of people ask me, well, has the star changed since then? If we could see the star today, magically, would it look different than 250 years ago? You probably wouldn't see any change. Stars, remember, live for many hundreds of millions of years to billions of years. And so at that time frame of only, a few hundred years here and there's probably not much difference that you would notice of the star. It looks pretty much the same as it did a couple of centuries ago. But it's amazing to think that the distances involved in the universe are so grand that it takes 250 years for that light to reach you. And also notice the coloration of Spica. I want you to look at that color, because you can see it's distinctly blue in color, right? Look at that compared to Arcturus, that'll be nearby as well. Look at that coloration difference. That tells us a lot about the kind of stars they are, of the temperatures that are on the surface of these stars. Arcturus has this yellowy orange color. It's a cooler temperature. The stars, probably we're talking a surface temperature of maybe 4,000 to 6,000 degrees Celsius on its surface, similar to our sun. Whereas on Spica has a different bluish white color and it has a higher surface temperature. Probably we're talking about maybe 15 to 20,000 degrees Celsius on its surface, at least. So vast color difference, really beautiful to see that color difference. And the moon will guide it again. This is Thursday night into Friday morning. The moon is starting to wane. It's not a full moon. You'll definitely notice that the disk of the moon is not quite round anymore. You can see right there the terminator line, the shadow line of the moon, very evident. Now, if we continue moving over the course of this week and keep following the moon, this is by Friday night. Saturday night, let me just move it. Saturday night in the early morning, just after midnight, it's in the constellation Libra, and it's heading towards a very bright constellation, usually prominent in the summertime in the northern hemisphere and very prominent in the southern hemisphere in the wintertime, is Scorpius. Scorpius, the giant arachnoid. And the two objects, the bright object here, Antares, the brightest star in Scorpius, will meet up with the moon. You can see this is by Monday morning. So by Monday morning, March 13th, look for the moon and Antares to be together. So by the time I do my next broadcast, this will have happened. It's just the same day as my broadcasts on Monday. So I want to showcase this for you guys. Mark that down on your calendar. Early Monday morning, if you get up in the morning early and it's still dark enough, look towards the southeastern skies, and you'll see this beautiful pairing of the moon and Antares, which, by the way, is a star that's 550 light years away from us. It's a red giant star. It's a dying star, much more older than our own sun, aged more, and it's basically it's bloated, huge, dying star, and it's got this definite orangey red coloration. Great contrast with the silvery color of the moon. So check that out on Monday morning. Now, there's one more thing before I leave that I wanted to share, is basically something called the zodiacal lights. I talk every once in a while about it. I just want to give you guys a heads up that if you look towards the sunset, about 45 minutes to an hour after sunset, over the course of the next 2 weeks, starting this Thursday, so Thursday would be March 9th, for the following 2 weeks is a great time to see what's called the zodiacal lights. And the zodiacal lights really looks like a pyramid-shaped light in the western sky. It'll be apparent. So you see this glow here of the sunset. You have to wait until that disappears. So it's kind of more like, I would say, twilight. So after sunset, if we just kind of magically move our sky, and I'm clicking through minute by minute, so something around like that where it's dark, and you got to go to a very dark sky away from any light pollution, maybe a 45 minutes to an hour at least drive out of the city, and a clear view to the low western horizon. You may have a chance, it's very challenging, you may have a chance to see what's called the the not the northern lights, but the zodiac lights. And it's basically dust between the planets in the solar system that's reflecting the sunlight. Just happens to be during the next 2 weeks, from this Thursday, March 9th, to the following week, will be situated here on our planet, just the right spot in the solar system, so that the sunlight scatters off of dust between the planets. And it's that dust that's reflecting that light causes this pyramid-shaped light in the west. And you'll know you're looking in the right place where you see Venus and Jupiter, by the way. They'll still be low in the horizon, but it'll be a nice kind of marker of where to watch for the zodiac lights, this dust between the planets. And this dust is left over from the ancient solar system time when most of the planets were formed 4 billion years ago. Really cool stuff. So check that out, zodiac lights, starting this Thursday. You've got the moon guiding us to see different things. Don't forget the sunset planets. There's a lot of really cool things to see. If you're interested more in exploring about the night sky, I invite you to check out my book, The Backyard Guide to the Night Sky, published by National Geographic. I've placed all my tips and tricks about beginning in sky watching, learning about astronomy. It's a book that's relevant for everyone who's just starting out, to those of you that are maybe more advanced. It's small, compact, a soft cover. You can take it on your vacation. It's got sky charts galore on it. If you're interested in something larger, something where you can maybe plan out more advanced stuff and explore the whole connection of humanity with the night sky, then Stargazer's Atlas is also available, out by National Geographic, published just a few months ago. I'm a co-author on this book, really excited. I've packed it full of all 88 constellations visible in both southern and northern hemisphere of the Earth. So no matter where you are on the Earth, this is a relevant, big 6.5-pound coffee table book. Both of these books are available on my website, signed editions. So I'm selling personally signed copies of these books. If you're interested, head over to my website, thenightskyguide.com. I'll put links right after this broadcast into the comment section, so you can check that out. And if you'd like, I'll personally dedicate a copy and send that out to you of either of those books. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Facebook page, Instagram or Twitter, wherever you're watching. Thank you for your support. And until the next video, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.